Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Work With Me live stream. I'll be hanging out here. I can even turn the light a little bit. Nope, that hurts my eyes. It's too dark down here. I'll just look at you guys from here. Hopefully you can see me okay. But hey, hello, welcome. My name is Tyler Ramsby. I am the founder of two companies I'm building really from the ground up. The first is Hack Smarter. We have hands-on labs and courses that you can actually afford in the field of ethical hacking, taught by me, an actual practitioner, not just an influencer. For more information on that, you go to hacksmarter.org. One cool thing about Hack Smarter is right now, the Hack Smarter free weekend has kicked off. It is live. So from now until Saturday night, tomorrow night, you can have free access to all of our hands-on labs. So if you want to see, is Hack Smarter worth it? Go ahead and head to hacksmarter.org, register for the Hack Smarter free weekend, and hack away. Enjoy some time checking out our labs. Company number 2 is KairosSec. You can visit that at kairos-sec.com. I really just need to add that to the freaking video itself, so I don't always have to drop it in chat, but I will drop it in chat real quick, kairos-sec.com. But if your company is looking for a pen test in Q4 or 2026, please reach out to me. We have a few clients lined up already, which is amazing, but would love to work with you as well, either this year or going into the new year. So reach out and we can at least have an initial conversation. But guys, this is different than my normal, I wouldn't really say normal because these are kind of my new normal during the day. But if you're used to watching me in the past, generally when I live stream, I do like live hacking, AMAs, share my screen, teach and everything as I go. These daytime streams are a little bit different. I'm working on building those two businesses, and as you can see, my screens are blurred out because I can't share sensitive information, especially client information, but I want to invite you on this journey with me. So what we're going to be doing is throughout the day, we're going to do some Pomodoro sessions where we work for 45 minutes with 5-minute breaks. During the 5-minute breaks, I'll chat, I'll hang out. During the 45-minute focus time, I'll have some music going on in the background. I'll also chat a little bit in the chat room, but I won't be talking on the microphone. But this is for you to just use to hang out. Throw it on your side monitor, hang out, work alongside of me, use the chat to chat with people when you're bored and meet some new people. It's been a fun couple of days since we kicked these things off. What else do I have by way of announcements? I think that is mostly everything. Oh, as far as my schedule today, guys, I will be doing this Pomodoro sessions till about noon. So it's 9 a.m. right now, 10, 11, 12. I'll be streaming for about the next 3 hours or so. And then after that, I'm having lunch with my friend Jaso. He's over in chat. We're going to get lunch IRL in real life. First time we've ever met, I think. I don't think you were at DEF CON. So he's coming through my town on his way to another town, and I was like, dude, let's grab lunch. So we're going to grab lunch. After that, I have another meeting to scope out a potential pen test, and then I'll be back on the Work With Me session late in the afternoon, probably 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. I need to look when that other meeting gets over, but just know there'll be a pretty big break in the afternoon, but that's for lunch with Jaso and scoping out the pen test right after that lunch. So that is the plan, my friends. Let me go ahead and, we got gifted subs from Reboot Everything. Amazing. Thank you, Reboot. You are the MVP for today's live stream. I really do appreciate that support. Let me look up in chat. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Hello to everyone. All right, Will's going to try Jonas in the afternoon. What up, Cyber Stormy? What up, Jaso? Reboot. And Jesse said, I was just watching the LinkedIn post on how Hack Smarter Labs compares to Hack the Box and Try Hack Me. I agree in the video comment. The video of the labs is a competitive advantage. This is one of the reasons I am drawn to the labs. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoy them. What up, Ernesto? You're live again? So is Dan Laurie. What? Well, if you join for my live stream, you will get a lot of work done because the whole focus of these live streams is to get work done. So if you hang around, you will be productive. Malware Cube said, this reminds me of Call of Duty Double XP weekends. Let's go, dude. Get some Mountain Dew. Get hacking. So I came up with this idea because I game, and on Steam, games will have free weekends. And I thought, hey, I've never seen a platform do a free weekend. So I was like, I'll be the first one. Let's do a freaking Hack Smarter free weekend. And we'll just see how it goes. If it goes well, I'll do more of these. There's also a scoreboard. So go hack some stuff, get some points, get put on the scoreboard. That's always fun. Thank you, Ferry, for checking in. Backnet said, this is the first time I've caught you live. Very cool. I've been subscribed to your YouTube channel. Wishing you the best in your new journey. Thank you so much for joining live. I appreciate it. I don't even see the link. I think Restream must have censored it. I'm fine with links as long as you're not spamming. Yeah, I saw that Port Swigger is taking my Hack Smarter, Not Harder phrase out. I see that. A Mac can work for hacking? Yes. OpenSSL is available? Sweet. All right, guys, I have a bunch of projects to kick off, so I'm going to stop chatting. I'll chat over on the chat room on the side there. I'm also live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch, by the way. You can join on whatever platform works best for you. But I'll be chatting over on chat. I'm going to get the timer going. I'm going to turn on the music. I'm going to start knocking out some projects. So make sure you guys drop in chat. What are you working on? For me today, I'm doing some final configurations on my Sliver C2 course. It's going to be releasing on Monday. And then I'm responding to emails and messages. That's going to be my focus for this first 45-minute chunk. So let us know in chat what you are working on so we can help one another stay motivated. But let me go ahead and turn on the music. I'll stop talking, and let's get into it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it through the first 45-minute break. Or first, not break. We didn't take a... If you took a 45-minute break, you need to get on your grind. The first 45-minute work session. I finished up the Sliver C2 course, just had to add notes for a few of the modules. That is now complete. Fully ready for release this coming Monday. I responded to some emails, Discord messages, got caught up on all that. And, well, I attempted to purchase Nessus, but it didn't work. They're like, sorry, you can't buy it. I was like, okay. I think for my business, all I have is a debit card, but it should have like a very high daily limit. So I don't know if my bank thinks it's fraud or something. So I'm going to go ahead and try a personal card and then just reimburse myself from my business. But we'll see. Apparently Nessus does not want my $4,000. That's a painful amount of money to give for Nessus. Nessus isn't even that amazing, but it's like, it's a standard tool for any type of network pen testing. It's not that you use that as your primary tool, but if you do an external pen test or an internal pen test, generally you run Nessus as the baseline scan. Gives you some low-hanging bugs to dig into. I know there's other alternatives, but if you're running a boutique pen testing firm with a high focus on quality, you should be using those industry standard tools. So I will cough up the $4,000 they want. I just don't want to. And apparently they don't want the money either. Don't be shy. We're also welcome. Yeah, if anyone wants to drop their credit card information in chat, we can. We'll see if your card works for Nessus. I keep jumping between topics, losing time and burning out. I can't focus. So I would learn first. You got to pick something right now, and then for the next 45 minutes, only focus on that one thing. All right, just do that. All right, peace out, Jay. So I'll see you soon in person. Most banks will give you a second card. I have a whole separate bank account for Kairosec. It's a completely separate business. It has its own business card. I don't know why it didn't work. I didn't get any notifications of like, hey, we think it's fraud. So I don't know why it didn't. I should double check that it didn't go through though. And Nessus is just trying to get me to pay them twice. That would really piss me off. No, it didn't go through from what I can see. So, yeah. Oh, teraflops with the credit card information. Appreciate it. Do you pay for Burp or use Kaido? I pay for both. I have a Pro license to Kaido that I pay for, and I also use Burp Pro because there's some things that Kaido doesn't have, so I have both. Have you got any videos about NoSQL injection? Yep, I'm pretty certain I do. If you just search NoSQL on my YouTube channel, I think you'll be able to find a few videos. No, daily spend limit should be high because it is a bank. I mean, it's a business account, so the daily spend limit is higher than a personal account. Zero X3 Security said I had the same issue with Nessus as well. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. If nothing else, I'll like route it through PayPal. It looks like I can do that as well, or an ACH credit. Like, I'll figure out a way to do it. Maybe I should try the ACH credit first, honestly. Oh, but then it doesn't. Okay, never mind. I'll figure out how to get my card to work. 0x3, just give me your card, dude. Just DM me on Discord. Be generous. I don't want to pay $4,000 for Nessus. Try using social engineering techniques to get the payment through. I could, but then you guys might see the police show up at my house, and that would be fun. Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to Wild West Hacking Fest next week as well. I'll see you there, Haircut Fish. Well, what programming language are you advised for exploit dev? Like C would be a good, for actual exploit dev, C. All right, guys. Hey, for those of you just tuning in, we are doing a Work With Me stream. We're doing 45 minutes of focus work, followed by a 5-minute break. We're just about to dive back into the next 45-minute session. When that starts, I'll turn the music back on. We'll focus. I'll chat a little bit in the chat room, but you guys are welcome to chat as much as you want. Use this chat room as a place to hang out. I do want to let you know that all labs on hacksmarter.org are free right now for Hacksmarter Free Weekend. Go to hacksmarter.org and check them out. I should really be a commercial person. But okay, 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, until we dive back in. Let me do one stretch. I am listening to the same music. Yeah, same music as you guys. All right, here we go. I'm going to start the playlist over quick. Oh, whoa, guys. I was so focused, I didn't realize we were in a break. Like legit, I was too focused on what I was working on. I just happened to look over at OBS and saw that we're like have 1 minute left of the break. Here, let me go ahead and pause this timer. I'll give us a little more time since I legit forgot. Let me go to scripts. We'll go ahead and pause that there. All right, I need to close all the sensitive stuff on my screen. All right. Now, I'll prove to you guys, it's the camera angle that makes it look like I'm looking down. Like this monitor right here is actually above my eyes, and these ones are like the top of the monitor is at eye level with me. All right, it's not as low as it looks. Now, I don't know why the camera angle does that, but let me adjust some things, and I will, I'll prove it to you guys. Actually, I need to get Restream open back up. All right, there's nothing sensitive there. Let me, perfect OSINT with a touch of physics. I love it. I need to turn off the blur. Okay. Blur is off. I don't really know the best way to prove this. Let me grab the camera. Oh, I have a candle too. I don't want to burn my house down. Let me blow out this candle. All right. So, I mean, I don't know the best way to prove this to you. Let's see. If I go like this, I don't even know the way to do this. Like, I don't know if you can see. If you can see it, it's definitely like this monitor. If I go straight out from my eyes, it goes to about right here on this monitor. Okay. I don't know if you can tell that, but that's straight out from my eyes. These, if you go straight out from my eyes, okay. Straight from my eyes goes to the very top of the monitor. So I'm not like looking down. All right. Still looks too low. Guys, I don't have the fancy risers. But if you look at okay, here. I'm going to prove something to you guys, okay? Let me do this. Okay, guys. You see this? What is the best positioning, okay? Look at how her eyes are like legit the exact spot my eyes are on my main monitor. Literally, that exact angle is how my eyes are on my main monitor. All right? Telling you. See, there it is again. Now, my body posture sucks. I know that. But the position of the monitor and the position of my eyes are legit perfect on how they say it should be in this article. Top of main is not chin level. I don't know why it looks like that in the camera, guys. The top of my main monitor. All right, once again. I'll draw a line straight from my eyes to the monitor, okay? So if I go straight to this, this is where it's hitting, right here. That's the top of my eyes. All right. I'm done arguing about it, though. Now you guys made me. I have to fix all the blur now. I have to. Oh my goodness! Now everything's broken. Okay, now I have to refix the blurred screens. Every time I redo the blur and move my camera, I have to refix them because they get different each time. So, as you can see, I'm gonna pull this over here. So what do I need to blur? Left. All right, we'll go right there, and then right. About right there. All right, that's good. Okay, and let's go ahead and kick off. We'll finish our 1 minute break. Oh, that's okay. Started the actual thing. Let's just reset it. We'll start over with another 45-minute thing. Watch yourselves draw the line on the camera. Oh, man. Little do we know, this is a masterful pre-recorded stream. I'm actually just an advanced AI version of Tyler, and that's how I can respond to chat. I'm not even a real person. Ask your wife to confirm. Make her come down here. Oh, man. Your back is like in between 90 and 45. I mean, there. Would this make you guys happier if I just lay back against this freaking pillow the entire time? Oh, man. Well, thanks. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for the interaction. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off again. We'll do another, what time is it? 10:45. I have time for another 45-minute session before I have to jump off for a meeting. So let's keep knocking our goals. Let us know in chat what you are working on. I'm apparently going to work on researching body posture and screen height just to appease the live stream. But guys, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to kick this off. As soon as we start, though, I am going to run upstairs, run to the restroom. And yeah, but I'll kick off the timer, start the music, and then I'll be right back for just a few minutes. You guys broke the timer now. What is going on? The timer's like going super fast. I don't know why it's doing that. What in the world? Man, I don't want to troubleshoot on the work stream. Let me see if I can fix. No, it's like double jumping. I don't know why it's doing that. Freaking Leon's hacking my computer. You guys see that? I don't know how to fix it. What in the world? There we go. That looks more normal. Okay. you.